Once you're connected to a database or you've loaded data in memory, it's very easy to create a chart. Simply double click on the variables of interest. So if I want to see my sales, I simply double click on sales. And I see a distribution of my sales. If I want to see sales by market segment, for instance, I simply double click on market segment and I see the sum of my sales by market segment. If I want to see now product subcategory, I simply double click on it and I see a stacked bar stacked by product subcategory. So it's very easy to create charts, and I can change the variables here simply by drag and dropping. For instance, I can take profits and drop them on sales, and now I see my profits. Now imagine that I want to create several charts in the same dashboard. It's very easy as well. I simply use the Alt key. So let's first create a scatter plot of my sales against my profits aggregated by product subcategory, for instance. And now say that I want to see my sales and my profit against time. So it's easy. I just hit the Alt key, double click on sales, then release the Alt key and double click on the other variables. And now I have two charts. And say that I want to add on top of this a distribution of my profits. So I hit the Alt key, double click on profit, and there you go. When you create a chart in Vice Desktop, you have access to modifiers. If I create a scatter plot of my sales against my profits, for instance, I have access to color, size, shape, and angle modifiers. Now I can change these modifiers manually like this. But I can also drag and drop a variable from here and drop it here to have it encode a specific dimension. In this case, I have the quantity variable coding the color. Now I can have the discount variable code the size, for instance, and the market segment code the shape. And just like that, I have access to a pretty complex scatter plot. Now, if I want to see angle, I'd rather remove this variable and use a shape that makes it easier to detect the angle, like the arrow, for instance. And now I can use another variable, for instance, handling cost, to encode the angle. And there you go.